Hi, it's Baz at GotAUkulele with another instrument review. I do like showcasing people who make their own instruments, and this is one of those. This is a Wunderkammer Ike handmade soprano ukulele. Wunderkammer sounds suitably foreign. No, they're made by a British luthier called Liam Kirby, who has a workshop in Bristol in the United Kingdom. And this is his soprano, standard soprano, which he calls the Ike. He makes lots of other instruments as well, and he makes custom ukes. What's interesting about what Liam has done with this is that Liam makes his instruments completely by hand, and that isn't to say he just simply saws stuff up and puts it together. He carves and sands all the wood involved in this ukulele with no machines whatsoever, all hand tools. So that's to say that the thin sound top is made on a bench plane. He sands it down himself. The bindings, the bridge, everything is cut by hand. And I think it's a really rather lovely little thing. It's incredibly light. This is made of all solid mahogany. It's got a really nice open grain texture to it, nice even grain on the top, sides, and very slightly arched back. And it's all finished in a hand-rubbed shellac and true oil finish, which gives it a really old, authentic feel to it. You can see the odd little bit of tooling marks where he's sanded and cut with chisels and the like. I like that. It really says to me that this is made by hand and not out of a Chinese production line in a factory. So we've got a bit of edge purfling around the sound hole there, which is inlaid, cut by hand, binding from the top to the sides there in rosewood, no binding on the back and sides. Nice little piece of rosewood down here on the butt, which is really nice. A very traditional Martin slotted style bridge mounting there with an ebony saddle. The neck has a Spanish style heel stacked here and another joint up at the headstock, and it's all, bear in mind this isn't carved by hand. It's a beautiful profile to it. I love it. It's really comfortable. The top of the fingerboard is finished in rosewood, quite a pale rosewood, with no other finish on it, no edge binding either. And we've got 12 frets, which is fairly standard for a soprano, to the body. We have a lot of space here. Now, Liam says that he can take commissions to put more frets in there, but I think that's a traditional design. It's beautifully carved. I'd just like to see some frets in there, as little as infrequently as I use them. I think, why have all that spare wood? The frets are nickel silver. They're traditional bar style frets, which I do find a little bit uncomfortable for sliding the fingers down. That's to say they're not crowned like traditional frets, or rather modern frets are. Very in keeping with the traditional look and feel of the thing. I'd prefer crowned frets, but there we are. There are no side fret markers either, but again, I think that's a traditional thing. We got a wooden ebony nut and up to the friction tuners on this rosewood faced headstock, which is rather nice. Really nice friction tuners. I mean, what else would you put on a small Martin style soprano like this other than friction tuners? Gear tuners would look ridiculous, frankly. It's really, really nicely put together. Comes with super GotAUkulele strings, and the price for all of this, for a handmade, hand-tooled, 395 quid. I think that's an absolute steal for what you're getting in terms of labour and man hours, but it would mean nothing if it doesn't play very well. Thankfully, it plays beautifully. It's light, very traditional, very easy to hold. Comfortable ukulele. Feels like there's nothing to it at all, but it is solid. It's so resonant. It's got real whoa power. Loud power. It rings and rings and rings. I don't find it as comfortable on finger picking because of the bar frets. But it's just it's got a really punchy tone when you hammer it. It's one of the loudest sopranos I've played. It rings and rings forever, which is kind of unheard of in a soprano. And I think that comes from the incredibly delicate build. I'm just looking at the thickness of that top. There's nothing to it at all. And it resonates. It gives you a satisfying sort of buzz into the chest on the strum. I can really feel that in my rib cage. It's nice. £395, the Wunderkammer Ike Soprano, all the way from Bristol in the UK. Very highly recommended you get in touch with Liam if you are a traditional fan. If you're a Martin fan, you'll love this.